and my sisters will be here as long as it takes to find out the information that we need before we head back to our plane, the plane of water.
Are your sisters as nice as you are, or should we be concerned about meeting them?
Yes, they are nice. They have their quirks. Both Daeana and Senathar. They both they're my sisters. I mean, I really can't say anything bad. Well, I could say something bad about Senathar, but but no, you shouldn't have any kind of trouble.
Are they gonna have a problem when they see this savage orc?
No, I did not. I kind of thought between seeing you and Xerofen here. I didn't know if the two humans were your captives or if you were their captives or what. So, yeah.
And I point to the invisible chains and I say, yeah, they're both chained together, as you can see.
Alright, I continue sketching my book, and I'm going to,
Which way would you like to go, Vay? To the east or to the south? Since you're
I'm going to
doing
go
the mapping.
whatever direction. I'm going to go whatever direction you go in. As I walk behind you and sketch away. I have a door to the south there, or it looks like a watery passage to the east.
Okay. Kenshi, you wanna lead the way?
Okay, will do.
Kenshi sounds a little different tonight. He's got a cold.
Be right back.
Alright. You guys are going east? Alright.
I think we have a passage to the south.
Yeah, as you're starting to go down the stairs lead down to this wide hallway, which is 10 foot wide, Lord Acid, and it's filled with a pretty murky water. And there are two hallways that you can see that are on the south wall, and you can also see that there's a sort of like another enclosure to the east. And it looks like this enclosure to the east is probably going down.
How deep is this water?
It's about 2 feet deep, so it's going to be considered difficult terrain. So it's basically going to cost you any kind of double movement while you're in a combat situation, if a combat situation arises.
Does it smell?
Not where you're at, but not where you're at right now, Vay. I guess you would be sniffing around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Murky water.
Yeah, it just smells like a very stale, murky water. Now,
that could be me.
where you're at, Lord Acid, you can actually it smells of like a shellfish, sort of like an all-you-can-eat crab night back at the inn. So you can definitely tell that there's a shellfish type of smell. Mudhen 5013, thanks so much. I appreciate it, Mudhen. Give him or her some bag faces.
Which way?
Her, I would guess.
Do you guys want to go? To the
Thank you,
south
Mudhen.
or further to the east?
Thank you for your support. I appreciate it.
Yeah, just keep going east.
Alright, so yes, as you're kind of passing by this room here, you can see inside, and it looks there's quite a few crabs that are clamoring around as you're looking in, you can see quite a bit of quite a few crabs, a lot of eyes poking up out of the water. You can definitely tell that they're crabs. Now you can tell that the corridor to the east looks like it definitely drops off, so you can see that there's probably stairs there, and it goes down probably about at least another 5 feet from what you can tell, and you can see that the water is kind of, you know, flowing down over the stairs. Let me give you a couple more features of the room too. So, alright, so on the walls there's a lot of luminescent corals and algae that are basically growing all over the walls. Sort of like a very beautiful, it looks like a coral reef, and it's shedding all kinds of like luminescent lights. So everything is brightly lit in this area so far from where you're at. Now also the ceilings, looks like all of the ceilings, the hallways, and this room that you glanced in to the south bay, they all have a height of around 7 feet. So it's a very shallow level. The other levels have had ceilings 12 to 15 feet, but this is actually, you know, Xerophen's close to having to, you know, scrape his head on the ceiling, basically. Yeah. I don't think you're quite 7 foot, are you?
I'm wearing a helmet with the plume.
You're not quite 7 feet, are you?
6'6".
Yeah. What about you, Aberdeen?
No, I'm smaller than that.
All right.
What's the ceiling like?
Same thing.
Earthen or stone?
Yes, it is stone. You can see patches of stone and earth, but you do see a lot of this colorful, luminescent type of algae that's growing on the ceiling also.
Oh, actually, I'm 6'10", so yeah.
And in
That's
some
real close.
portions of the floor, you can see that this stuff is growing too. And in some parts of this, you know, you kind of like lose your footing a little bit because of the slime.
We're still going to go forward, or?
I was trying to look into that second passage to the south.
Yeah, you can see that there's a passage that's going south. Kenshi, see, it opens up into a larger room, and you can actually see that the water is flowing south. So as you get to this corner, you can see that the water kind of, you know, folds around you, and it's actually pulling and tugging at you a little bit, but it's not like you're going to have to do any kind of strength check. It just seems that there is definitely a strong current, though. You can see some of the water going south. You can see just a little bit of it kind of trickling over the stairs that's going to the east.
So more water is going to the south and to the east.
Hey, keep it moving up there.
Thanks again, Mudhen. I totally
My
appreciate
boots are
it.
getting
Thank you
soggy.
very much.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, everybody's soaked from almost up to the waist now, so yeah. Yeah, and Boris isn't happy either.
Mm-hmm.
Even more stairs here to the south.
All right, so yes, as you move down to the east, you can see that the passage ends and automatically goes south. Now, as you travel, as you look down to the south, you know, this is a pretty brightly lit hallway, you can see that there is a dead end, but the water continues to flow very lightly. It's not like it's not like I was saying, it's not flowing like it was flowing south, because you were actually kind of being pulled a little bit. This is a very calm type of flow, very slow flow, and yeah, it seems like the water does continue to flow though at the stop of the wall.
You want to
Awesome.
investigate
Thanks, man.
this, or
And and the stairs do go down another 5 feet.
The water's not get deeper though, right?
No, it's still about 2 feet deep. Still would definitely be difficult terrain if any kind of combat was to break out. So far, so good, though.
Okay, Lord.
Can we
Can't you?
Can we see in the water? Is it crystal clear?
No, it's pretty murky, but in some
There's
spots,
no way to see. Like I couldn't see my feet or anything.
no, not really. I mean, it's no. I would say no.
Okay.
It's not like it's not a very clean water. It's like it's like somebody took and just stirred up a bunch of water in a shallow area, and plus you guys walking around doesn't help, because as you're taking steps, you can see that like some muck and stuff is coming up, and that's why it's a little bit slippery, because this water, you can actually tell this water's been here for quite a while. The water's definitely been here for quite a while, and the water was actually flowing out of the walls as you guys were coming down into the stairs. So it's not like it was pouring in from faucets. It was just kind of seeping in through the walls, and you can just see that the water was basically coming out of the walls and from under the crystal, and that's what is actually feeding this water. And thank goodness that there is at least some kind of current, because just think of the if it was totally stagnant, just think how bad it would be difficult to travel, and how it would stink.
Yeah, probably a slip bottom.
Well,
want me to go further south, or
Yep.
you want to check one of the rooms?
Unless we're setting up camper, yes. Keep going.
Yeah, might as well keep going.
I mean, at the end.
Poking Zerofan with my an arrow.
Like, come on, go, go, go.
all
Is
right,
that it, Kenshi? Nothing else?
Kenshi, you're at the end of the wall, but you can still feel that the water is slowly moving past you towards the wall.
I want to check around if I can see somewhere an opening that the water is going out of. Or check how the water is draining from here.
Alright, so you basically want to hold your breath and kind of, the water does get a little bit deeper here. It gets to about 3 to 4 feet. So it's up to probably about, midway up your chest. So I guess you want to hold your breath and kind of feel around under, as you do. As you hold your breath, you go under. Are you going to kind of move forward, or what are you doing, Lord? I mean, Kenshi, I'm sorry.
I'm standing next to the wall, and I'm just trying to feel my way around.
Okay.
The wall.
Okay.
While
So
going down.
you're doing that, and so you're kind of feeling to your left and to your right. So you can feel that the wall is going to be on your, to the east and west of you. Looking at your token, Jesus, all of those macros are on there. It's awesome. Okay, so I'm going to move your token a little bit. Now, as you feel straight ahead, you can feel that where the wall is, right up above, as you're kind of feeling the wall, which is solid, and then as it goes below the water line, the wall disappears several inches below the water line, and you can tell that this is where the water's going. The water's going straight ahead. So it's sort of like an underwater tunnel, but you're just not too sure where this thing goes. If it's safe, if it's dangerous, you're just not too sure.
So let's tie a rope around each other and check it out. There's a current.
Yeah, there's definitely a very light current.
Yeah, then I tell the information to the others and say, do you want me to check it out?
Yeah, well, we won't spend too much time at it, but if there's an immediate entrance on the other side, we can proceed. If not, we'll turn around and check another place. So just be careful.
Will do.
Yeah, if you get in trouble, just jerk twice on the rope, and we will pull you out as fast as we can.
And we'll fucking run.
I tried to kind of take a look at my wrist as if there were a watch there. And I said, no, we don't really want to have to replace more people, so be careful.
Oh God, yeah, we're going through so many people now. Jesus, I guess they don't.
Make sure that this passage is big enough for me to get through.
I guess people just don't like Pathfinder and D&D mixed together. I guess they just don't like it.
Well, we lost the PS1s before we went to Babby.
I was like, yeah.
Okay, I was going in.
Alright, so you hold your breath. Now, which way are you traveling? And you have this rope tied. You have it tied to you, and Aberdeen, Vane, Zerfin, they're all holding on to the rope. Are you pretty much just going to travel straight? And I guess, what are you going to do? Feel the walls as you're moving from left to right?
I'm going straight, and I'm trying to hold the right wall if I feel it's still within arm's reach.
Okay. So what's your constitution? Because that has to do with your holding of breath.
Constitution.
Yep.
12 plus 1.
I look up. I open up the player's handbook. Look up holding breath, and it sees suffocation. Whoops. Page 183. I don't think there's not many rules to it. I just kind of want to glance at it really quick. So this is one of these rules that we don't really use too much. Alright, so suffocating is a creature can hold its breath for a number of minutes, 1 plus its constitution modifier. So you have what, a +2 constitution modifier?
Plus 1.
Plus 1? Okay, so you'd be able to... Okay, you'd be able to hold your breath for 2 minutes, basically. So you got about 20 rounds, to 20 combat rounds. Alright, cool. Simple, 14... Okay, there you go. Alright, totally. Thanks for letting me look that up. I just kind of wanted to glance at it. I knew that it was something in a modifier. I just wanted to find out what the formula was. So, alright, so you get a good breath, you and you head down into the murky water, and it's it's talking, old Kenshi, he's starting to swim in there. Now, the wall's still on your left and still on your right, Kenshi. Now, you can feel that the water, you can feel that where you're at, the walkway that you're on, is continuing to stay at the same level. Now, you travel about, I'm going to say you travel about 30 to 40 seconds. So you're still feeling fine. You travel about what seems to be like a mile that you've traveled. You travel about 20 feet in all reality, and you can see that there is clear water up ahead, a little bit clear water up ahead, and it seems like you're coming to the end of a corridor, and you can see that this opens up into a very large room, a very large and deep. You know, as you get to the end, you kind of look up. You can see that the water's probably about 8 to 10 feet deep. Now I'm going to move you right here, and this is what you see. And you can see ahead of you, under this water, you can see this blue, sort of like a fissure. It's glowing and rippling, and it looks like water in water. So you think that this could possibly be one of those portals that Joe Quall was talking to you about.
Yeah, I was just about to say it.
So you know, you're looking at this. So now about a minute has gone by, and you're really not starting to, you know, scream for air yet. But you notice that the ceiling above you sort of slopes up. You know, once you get to about right here, you can see that the ceiling starts to slope up. You know what I mean? And then at the end of it, it slopes up to about, I would say, it was about 4 feet, and it slopes up to about 7 to 8 feet, and then it opens up into this room. But the floor is always, you're on the same level. And then when you're back down here, you're looking at, and it looks like the water's probably 8 to 10 foot deep. And then there's this portal that's, you know, to the south of you. So you're at about a minute right now.
I cannot go up completely to get a fresh breath.
You can go back. I mean, there's nothing saying you can't go back. You know, you have the rope, you know, that's tied around you. So I mean, they could. You're not struggling for air. You know, you're a minute in. You can hold your breath for about another minute or so.
Just to take a better look at the room.
Okay. So as you enter this room, you can see that there is water to your right that is splashing down. So you can see water creating bubbles, sort of like if you're in a, like, under the water and you see water coming down from a waterfall splashing down. Yeah. So you can see that it's and the water's pretty clear in this room. So this room is basically filled from wall to wall with water that actually you can smell that it smells like death. Even though you're not smelling, you can actually tell. You can just you have a sense of death. Now you can see the cascade that's pouring from the northeastern wall.
Yes.
And it's clear water, but over by the waterfall it's kind of churning up the water, but it does clear out. Now in this room there's a couple doorways. There's a doorway to the east and to the west, and they're closed doors and they're totally submerged. This whole room is submerged with water. You are still, you know, kind of balancing, and now it's about you're at about a minute 20 seconds right now as you're kind of looking around. There's the portal to the south, and also there are several corpses that appear to be petrified that are in the water. And I'm going to show you where the corpses are. They are right here. And they appear to be somewhat of a... actually, give me a history check. This is just sort of like a first glance. Yeah, you have no clue what they are. They kind of look like maybe jockwool, but they do not look like they're females. They definitely look like they would be a male. So now you're at about a minute 30, and you're starting to say, okay, maybe I need to start breathing now. So you can do one of two things. You can ascend up the 8 or 10 feet in this room that you're at, or you can go back the way you came.
I'm thinking about going back and telling the others. Maybe with the help of the rope that they pull me back quicker.
Okay, yeah, sure, no problem. Yeah, and as you're going back, they're pulling you pretty quick, and you hit your head on. You don't take any damage or anything, but as they're pulling you back, you basically slam your head up against the wall.
Are we sort of dragging him faster than he can swim? We're kind of like
Yeah,
yanking him through.
you're basically, that's exactly what you're doing. You're yanking him and dragging him back. That's hence the reason why he hits his head.
I'd like to start pulling a little faster then.
You feel a couple tugs.
Before he drowns.
You come up, he's got a couple red marks on his forehead, like he hit the wall or something.
Thanks for letting me hit the wall.
What happened to you? Better slam it against the wall than drown it, I guess.
Yes.
What did you find?
It's like after 20 feet, the ceiling starts to go up, and you see a room with big room with clear water, and it's going 8 or 10 feet up. And there are 2 doors there on the left and on the right, and to the top left of the room there's like kind of waterfall where the water is coming in.
Oh, I saw one go back there to the south.
And
But it's the same one.
there are also petrified creatures or people under the water at the bottom.
Do you know what kind of creatures or people they are?
No, I don't.
You didn't taste one first?
Uh,
Alright. Okay,
So-
Jake, take a look at this map. I've been sketching this map. So it looks like there's a waterfall to the south. And rather than us all going under this, I think we might be able to get to the same location by backtracking a little.
maybe by taking the previous room.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then going to the south if the current is not too heavy.
Yep, I say let's give it a shot. Better map it all out anyway.
Alright, so it looks like you guys are heading back then, huh?
Yep.
I'm gonna tiptoe against the wall past this bear. I still don't like that thing.
Alright. So as you guys make your way back up the several flights of stairs, you know, as you guys are starting to come into this room, you can see that the current does pick up quite a bit. And this is a room that's full of brackish water and is mostly clear and smells quite clean. There is a current that's flowing south where you can see and hear that a waterfall is flowing over.
I think this is the waterfall I saw on the other room.
Yeah, and you can see that there's some down this eastern corridor. You can see that there's sort of like a jam of all kinds of, you know, the water is probably several feet, 2.5 feet deep. Lots of chunks of crates, xerophane, pieces of wood, other containers that are just kind of floating in the water here.
Would it be like a log jam?
It would be like it definitely is a it is the log jam, that's for sure. Are you here for plumbing problem?